Holy shit. He said what?
It is interesting how she's exposing her as a yacht girl, someone who was paid off by rich men to go and hang out.
I choose people whose lives are shrouded in mystery, and they've climbed the greasy pole. They want to be famous, they want to be influential, they want to be powerful.
Meghan Markle likely spent time with Prince Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein before she even met Prince Harry.
They want to hide their secrets, and I just love digging away to find out what they don't want us to know.
She flirts openly with other men.
No.
Oh, the royal fairy tale you thought was real? Turns out it was just a glittery stage show, a performance so polished it tricked millions. Until, of course, the cracks started showing, like a cheap Instagram filter gone wrong. Because peel back one layer of Meghan and Harry, and surprise, surprise, it's not elegance, it's not authenticity. It's a brand dripping in contradictions, scandals, and enough hypocrisy to make Hollywood clutch its pearls. Meghan, dreaming she'd be Diana 2.0, the beloved princess of the people, somehow ended up as the Duchess of Drama, throwing sympathy tantrums like a reality TV star fighting for screen time. And Harry? Oh, Harry. Once a proud soldier, now Meghan's PR sidekick. Stumbling through interviews, repeating victimhood lines like a broken record nobody wants to hear. It's no longer a love story. It's a Netflix series gone horribly, hilariously wrong. And guess what? The audience stopped clapping a long time ago. And here comes Tom Bower, not just pulling back the curtain. Oh no, he's shredding it into confetti, exposing every whisper Meghan hoped would vanish into the royal ether.
To tell the truth, I spoke to very few friends of Meghan because she put a fatwa on anyone talking to me who she could. So I sent off dozens and dozens of emails to her friends, and most of them didn't even reply.
Ah yes, the infamous yacht girl rumors, the contradictions spilling out of her own mouth, and that endless obsession with a Diana crown she'd never actually wear. But here's the juicy twist no one dares say aloud. Meghan and Harry aren't rebelling against the system. Oh no, they are the system, starring in their own tragicomedy of manipulation, stage suffering, and relentless spin, all while profiting off the monarchy they claim ruined their lives. And the more they open their mouths, the more the world stops believing, folks. But hold on tight, because Tom Bower just shoved this scandal into even darker, messier territory. From day one, Meghan's obsession with Diana wasn't about admiration. It was pure calculation. While the world was sobbing for Diana, mourning a woman who earned her place through real compassion and tragedy, Meghan was busy turning her into a template. A role she clearly thought she was auditioning for. Bower paints a picture of someone who studied Diana's every post, every hand gesture, every carefully angled photo, practicing each pose like a royal cosplay expert ready for her grand debut.
Harry, being a simple soul, has easily changed to suit Meghan's agenda.
Ah, the brutal truth hits like a royal cannonball. You can't rehearse authenticity, and Meghan's attempts? Pure desperation. Every tilted head, every forced teardrop, like watching a drama student bomb on opening night. And Harry? Instead of honoring his mother's legacy, he handed it over, like a script, to a woman who saw Diana not as a human, but as a brand strategy. Can you imagine the insult? Turning Diana's humanity into Meghan's cosplay? The public didn't fall for it, because it wasn't real. It was marketing. Meghan thought she could crown herself the new Diana, but what she ended up with was the discount Diana. A knockoff so transparent, it shattered the mystique she so desperately craved. And Harry, blinded by infatuation, played along, dragging Diana's memory into their endless circus of victimhood. What was once sacred became a prop, and once that line was crossed, well, there was no going back.
listen, I brought Meghan Markle, whatever her name is, to my Deal or No Deal celebrity golf tournament.
But in the end, nothing beats the truth, the real facts.
She was one of my Deal or No Deal girls that were, she was a caddy for all of my celebrities.
So when Meghan came along into the scene, I just thought, this is fascinating. How is this going to play out?
Oh, but hold on to your tiaras, because according to Bauer, Meghan's Diana obsession was just the opening act. The next chapter, even darker. Tied to her most controversial whispers, the so-called yacht girl rumors. Yes, those. If the Diana cosplay was cringeworthy, these yacht stories are downright damning. Bauer doesn't sugarcoat a thing. He paints the image of her hobnobbing on private yachts with billionaires, playboys, and Hollywood's shadowy gatekeepers. Not as a rising star, not some scrappy talent, but as someone who knew the real currency wasn't acting chops. It was proximity, charm, and masterful networking. Let's be blunt. Meghan didn't climb the ladder. She rode the waves, using yachts as her personal networking venues, all while later selling the rags-to-riches struggling actress story. That fairy tale crumbles under the weight of whispers, photos, and carefully buried anecdotes. And Harry? He knows. He sees the rumors. And yet he stands there, nodding like this is a fairy tale, when in reality, it looks more like a casting couch scandal set on a yacht.
Who she could use and who could serve her purposes. She did want him because she then was promoted from an unknown actress into a global star.
Oh, the shifting narratives. They're not just confusing, they're catastrophic. Meghan bends reality whenever it suits her, and the more she talks, the less anyone believes a single word. And it's not just the public catching on. The palace noticed, Hollywood producers noticed. Now the whole world watches as her stories collapse under their own weight. Instead of looking like a strong woman battling the odds, she looks like a liar, struggling to keep her script straight. And Harry? Once praised for his blunt honesty, he's now the co-star in a production where truth doesn't matter. Only optics do. Bauer nails it. Meghan's contradictions aren't accidents. Their strategy. But a strategy so clumsy it destroys her credibility every time she opens her mouth. And once credibility is gone, the fall from grace accelerates. Hollywood didn't reject her for no reason. Meghan learned the hard way that the industry chews up pretenders and spits them out without hesitation. Bauer exposes the brutal truth. Meghan strutted onto the royal stage thinking she was untouchable. Yet now, the very power players she once courted won't even take her calls. Deals vanish. Partnerships collapse. Producers quietly distance themselves, not because of some conspiracy, but because no one wants to gamble on a brand drenched in scandal and self-inflicted drama. Netflix and Spotify didn't drop the ball. Meghan and Harry did, turning golden opportunities into laughable disasters packed with whining, contradictions, and zero credibility.
What I discovered was, of course, that she was hunting for a man in England from 2013, and she wanted wealth and she wanted fame, and she targeted. There's no doubt she targeted Harry.
Ah, Hollywood, land of reinvention, glam, and ruthless judgment. But Meghan? Her constant spin made her look less like a rising star and more like a fraud, with Harry tagging along like the world's most awkward sidekick. The same celebrities who once smiled for photo ops now ghost her, because in that world, reputation is currency, and Meghan's value plummeted faster than a canceled series. She sold herself as a feminist icon, a voice for change, but the moment the spotlight dimmed, she was exposed as a performer chasing sympathy rather than respect. Hollywood can smell desperation, and Meghan reeks of it. Every failed deal, every awkward public appearance proves her star power wasn't real, just inflated hype waiting to burst. And while she scrambles to save face, Bauer makes it clear. Meghan hasn't just lost Hollywood's favor, she's become toxic, a liability. Nobody in power dares touch her. The ugliest part of Bauer's revelations? It's not just Meghan's past or her collapsing career. It's how she allegedly tightened her grip on Harry, turning their marriage into a stage-managed production. From the moment they went public, it was clear Meghan positioned herself not as Harry's partner, but as his handler, feeding him lines, scripting his interviews, recasting him from a respected soldier into a sidekick whose only role is to echo her grievances. This isn't love, folks. It's control, dressed up as romance, with Meghan always front and center while Harry fades into a caricature of himself. Awkward, bitter, and completely lost.
Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will still get paid millions of dollars for doing absolutely nothing. And that's just by Netflix.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
Oh, the little bomb Bauer drops? He shreds the illusion entirely, showing how every staged photo, every hand-holding pose, every wide-eyed word, yes, the classic Diana moments, was meticulously crafted to keep Meghan in control of the narrative. And Harry? He surrendered, willingly, abandoned his family, his country, and his dignity to become the poster boy for a PR campaign. One that no one's buying anymore. The tragedy? The man who once embodied loyalty and courage now looks like a broken mouthpiece, a walking prop in Meghan's endless quest for attention. It's not a partnership, it's manipulation. And the cost? Harry's identity. Bauer makes it clear. Meghan didn't just marry Harry. She rewrote him, hollowed him out, and repackaged him as her accessory. And if that sounds harsh, it's because the truth is even harsher. Harry isn't leading this story. He's trapped in it. When the sympathy well started to run dry, Meghan pulled out her most shameless card, her own children. Little Lilibet turned into a headline tool rather than being simply protected as a child. Bauer exposes how Meghan times stories and appearances around her daughter like a PR strategy, not a maternal instinct, treating Lilibet less like family and more like a shield whenever public opinion turns. It's the most cynical play imaginable.
Whenever they need money, whenever they need publicity to stoke their reputation, they'll drop another little bomb.
Ah yes, draping herself in motherhood whenever the press needs softening, then retreating into silence when accountability knocks. And Harry? Instead of protecting his daughter, he stands by while Lilibet becomes yet another pawn in Meghan's endless quest for attention. Every staged photo, every name controversy, every conveniently timed sympathy push, it all reeks of calculation. Bauer paints it for what it is: exploitation masquerading as parenting. Meghan doesn't wield authenticity. She weaponizes innocence, a stain even Hollywood can't whitewash. The world sees it. The constant tugging at Diana's ghost, the endless victimhood narrative, and now using her own daughter as a publicity prop. It's not strength, it's desperation. Exposing Meghan as someone willing to gamble with anything, even her child's privacy, to stay in the headlines. By the time their so-called empires started crumbling, the only ones surprised were Meghan and Harry themselves. Bauer drives the knife in, showing how their brand, once wrapped in royal fairy dust, has collapsed into a punchline of hypocrisy, contradictions, and staged victimhood. Global fascination has rotted into public fatigue. People aren't leaning in anymore, they're rolling their eyes. That Oprah interview once hyped as their defining moment, now a masterclass in exaggeration and half-truths. Netflix exposed them as narcissists who couldn't stop whining long enough to realize the audience was tuning out. Every project screams calculation. Every fake empowerment speech, every pity party, it doesn't earn admiration, it earns backlash. Hollywood no longer sees Meghan as aspirational. She's radioactive, dragging Harry down into irrelevance. Deals don't crumble by accident. Reputations don't collapse overnight. This is arrogance meeting reality. Meghan thought she could outplay the palace, outshine Hollywood, outmaneuver the press. Instead, she stands exposed, brand shredded, credibility gone, influence reduced to gossip fodder. Bauer sums it up brutally. Meghan Markle isn't the modern Diana she dreamed of being. She's the cautionary tale of ambition eating itself alive. Strip away the glitz, the stage, the endless spin, and what's left? Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, not royal rebels, not humanitarian icons, but two fallen stars clinging to relevance as their empire of contradictions collapses in real time.
And then they put out pictures of Lilibet, but it doesn't. You see her half covered.
Right.
But what you always see is Meghan. So it's all about Meghan again.
That Meghan never really intended to stay. Her guest list to her wedding showed her real ambition was to be a star in California, and Harry's friends were excluded from the guest list in the evening from the dinner.
I was doing an interview to offer them a platform to tell their story about why they left, and that was my number one intention, was just clarity on why did you leave. And so some of the things that were revealed in that interview came as a surprise to me, and those surprises are now referred to as bombshell.
Oh, and Bauer's revelations? They slammed the door shut on any illusion of authenticity. Meghan isn't a misunderstood victim. She's a strategist tangled in her own web of lies. And Harry, not a prince leading change, he's the bumbling sidekick stumbling through her script. Their story isn't a fairy tale anymore. It's a cautionary headline about what happens when ambition devours integrity and brand management replaces truth. And just when you think it couldn't get darker, wait until you hear about those yacht girl photos Colin Jost dragged into the spotlight. Images Meghan would do anything to erase. That scandal makes today's bombshells look like children's party tricks, and it's the one revelation she can't outrun. If you want to see what truly rattled Meghan to her core, check out my previous video. Meghan Markle unhinged after Colin Jost exposes her leaked yacht girl photos online. Trust me, you won't believe how deep this rabbit hole goes. This is Star Spotlight, where the truth behind the headlines burns brighter than the lies.